Who is most likely to get offended? I honestly think it is one of my, big weaknesses. Who is more likely to turn into their mother?
Oh, this is so
obvious.
This is the most obvious question of the questions so far. Welcome back to episode 4 of the Sister Sip podcast.
I feel like we haven't podcasted in forever. We weren't able to do a bonus episode or anything this month because A, Christmas, and B, we're sick.
Yeah, I have been sick I feel a lot better now, but I think I've been sick for at least a week, and I was just not up to filming it, and then now I feel a lot better, but you will notice I sound very nasally, and my voice is extra deep today.
It's just that time of year. But today's episode is going to be kind of a fun, lighthearted one where you can kind of maybe get to know us a little bit, maybe cause a little sister drama. We'll see. Keegan printed out a list of questions.
He came up with them, right?
I think so. Yeah, he came up with some questions that are who's most likely to. We haven't seen them, so that should be interesting. But speaking of us being sick, that kind of brings us to what we're sipping today, which is a little different than the norm. It's not as cute and fun, but I think it'll be really helpful this time of year.
Yes, I'm excited to try it.
It's like an immunity tea. So I'll have the recipe, but it's pretty flexible. You can kind of just use what you have around the house. I have in it a little bit of turmeric tea, which I think that would be kind of optional. Lots of ginger, honey, and lemon. So
all the good stuff.
I'm
for
curious
fighting
if
cold.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's gonna actually taste good at all.
Woo! That is strong.
That is strong.
That ginger is burning in my throat, but I think it's a good burn.
It is. I feel like that's really gonna help.
Sheltered kid saying it's a good burn from the ginger tea. I was very sick.
Like the way that it burns.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really spicy. You could probably cut down on the ginger if you didn't like such a spicy. But I bet if you had a really bad cold, this would just really soothe.
I mean, it's not something you're just gonna be glugging down, but yeah, it's really good. Honestly, it's pretty strong on the ginger, but you could.
And honestly, I saw some recipes where you could add cayenne pepper. This definitely doesn't need it, but
no.
And garlic, but I was like, I want this to taste good. I know garlic would maybe be good, but
whew, it's so strong in ginger.
It really burns down. My chest is feeling a little hot. But man, I feel like this could kill about anything.
It does feel like it could. Whew. It almost needs to be diluted,
I know. I feel like I could add a little bit more water, but
yeah.
Man, I'm going to have to keep that recipe in mind for cold and flu season. Okay, should we get into what's been brewing the past month since we've talked?
I'm trying to think of what's been going on. I feel like it's been so busy. We've already had Oliver's family Christmas and my family Christmas. I went to Holmes County. My mother-in-law took us girls there for a little trip to get just to do some shopping and pick up a few things for their business. And then I've been sick. And I feel like that's all my life update.
Yay! Honestly, same. I've been sick.
Yeah.
I've been sick and Christmas.
Yeah. That's kind of what December is, it seems like.
Keegan and I had our little Christmas last weekend, which was really fun to do together. It felt not super Christmassy and traditional. It felt kind of just like a chill Saturday, but it was honestly so nice because the past 2 weeks, almost every single evening after work, we have plans.
Oh, I know. It's been like that this week too.
And it's fun, but it is so overwhelming. So it was really nice just to slow down. We had a little brunch where we had biscuits and gravy. We slept in and we finished Young Sheldon, the show that we've been watching, which I got Jayla hooked on it finally.
Yes, we started that when I don't forget when it was. Sometime last week I wasn't feeling very good, and we just kind of wanted to watch a show. And yes, Oliver and I love it. We've already watched a lot of episodes, and we just started it. So it's been a good. If you're sick at home, it's a good show to start.
Yeah, good bingeable. So yeah, we finished that sadly, but I think there's the last season's coming out in February. And then we wrapped some gifts. We actually went to an indoor pickleball place and played pickleball. Once again, not very Christmassy, but just something we haven't done in a while and we really enjoy doing together. Came home, had our like traditional fancy dinner of filet mignon, which turned out so good.
It looked so good.
We were kind of nervous because it's like a nice cut of meat and we hadn't done it before, but Keegan did great. And just potatoes, green beans. I had some like Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Ooh.
And we got like frozen creme brulees from the grocery store.
Oh.
Honestly, they're so good. I mean, they're probably not quite the same as like homemade or getting them at a restaurant, but you just get them from the frozen section. You put like a little sugar on top. And since they're frozen, you can put them on the broil setting and it can still be cold on the inside without it like heating up too much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nice, like, fancy, easy
that sounds really good.
Dessert.
Honestly.
Yeah, it was really good. And then we did gifts, and it was just really nice to relax.
We don't actually have plans Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So we're going to do our Christmas, I think, on Christmas Day, just me and Oliver. And I am so looking forward to the long weekend of not actually being that busy. We have something going on Saturday, but that's it. And it feels like it's never like that around Christmas, but we've just done our Christmases so early. So
it'll be kind of nice. Like, you guys just will have the day off work. It'll be a long weekend on Monday and just chill and just kind of catch up after the busyness.
I'm very excited for that.
Okay. Well, there wasn't a lot, but I'm kind of excited to get into the questions. Like I said, I don't know what these are. They could be like...
Keegan's nervous.
Keegan is hoping he did good. They could be like super fun or like
super boring. Should I read number one?
Yeah, you read the first one.
I'm going to try not to read the other ones. Who is most likely to answer the phone if you call in the middle of the night? I would say probably me. I think you're more of a deep sleeper. That's why. Probably.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't answer. I wouldn't hear the phone.
But I became more of a deep sleeper. So I'm just like, just to guess, I would say probably me because I'd say you're probably more of a deep sleeper.
Yeah. Wow, that was such a fun question.
You got to know us so much better.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to roast everyone. Okay. Who is more likely to make you laugh when you're sad?
Each other or someone else?
Each other.
Like, are you like if you're more likely to make me laugh when I'm sad?
I feel like we're both more likely to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
Like, who's the funnier one?
I feel like I'm more sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not.
I feel like I take the jokes too far.
Yeah.
I'm more like...
But you can get super slap happy too.
Yeah, I think I get more slap happy than you. And, like, I feel like you have a little bit more reservation, but you are a little bit more sarcastic. But sometimes I just, like, don't hold back and I take the jokes a little too far.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think.
But we have very similar sense of humor.
Definitely. So I don't know. Neither of us are super serious sometimes. Like, if you're trying to make the other one laugh, it would just, like, happen naturally. Yeah. But, like, as far as cheering someone else up, I don't know.
I feel like me. I feel like if things are, like, getting too serious, I, like, crack a joke. Not that things can't be serious, but I like to throw a little joke in there.
Yeah. Number 3. What's it going to be? Who is most likely to take care of you when you are sick?
I don't know why I'm laughing. Me making the tea. No, actually,
so I was noticing, because you know how there's all those, like, memes or whatever. It's like when your husband's sick, like, they're like such a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, you know what I'm saying? But that is so me. So Oliver and I have both been kind of sick. I don't know if we've been the equal amount of sick and I've just been more dramatic. But I like could not go into work, but he still goes into work. And I remember, I feel like I was being like pretty, which I felt really bad. And I felt pretty sick and I was just like so lazy and didn't want to do anything. And I was telling him I think it was one night we were going to bed, because like he's been sick too, but he's still like been waking up to go to work. And I was like, well, I guess I am the weaker vessel.
Pulling that card out.
Yeah, because like, well, maybe it is true. Like,
I know.
my body can't needs to rest more.
I think I like need more attention and to be babied.
Yeah, and I also I hate I just being home all by myself like that, especially when I'm not doing anything. Like, I was too tired to do anything, so I was just sitting on the couch all day long. I got super lonely.
But Keegan is also the type to be he has a cough and he's I'm dying. Exposed.
But Oliver's pretty good. So,
yeah.
Anyway, back to the question. Who's more likely to take care of who when they're sick?
I will say, when you said you were sick, it was last week, I thought about bringing you over chicken noodle soup. But I didn't.
Thought that counts.
Wasn't that so sweet?
Maybe you, because I can just see you being more nurturing, maybe. So, and
Yeah.
you made the tea. That's the only thing I have to go off of.
Who's more likely to forget to text back? Me. Well, I'm so bad at texting.
Probably you. I think I'm pretty good. If I don't want to text back, then I just won't open it.
Yeah.
But maybe that's kind of the same thing. But I feel like I'm pretty good at texting back.
I always text you back right away because, as soon as I see that you, sent me a message, I'm, instantly opened. I don't know why. I'm just, instantly interested about what you had
if
to
it was
say.
someone else, okay, wow, she's kind of, needy. She responds so fast and opens so fast.
Yeah.
But, when it's her sister, it's oh, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It shouldn't matter anyway, but I'm
This
afraid to
is-
read all of them.
This isn't, what I was expecting.
I'm going to get 5.
I think.
Who is most likely to forget to return a borrowed item? I'm going to say you.
Yes.
I am pretty bad at returning things, I've been noticing. But I think that I am more clean. And so by being more clean, I at least, my return items are, they're all cleaned up and ready to go. I just am bad. I'm, putting them in the car and taking them to the certain spots. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I still have, articles of your clothing that I borrowed that I still haven't returned.
That is right. I was just thinking about that one dress.
That dress, the floral dress that I borrowed.
Yeah, I was just thinking about wanting to take it to Puerto Rico in February today. That's so
I have
funny.
it somewhere. See, that goes along with the messy thing because I know it's somewhere, but I don't know where.
Yeah.
But I see it here and there. I'm like, oh, I should probably return that. And then I just don't.
Yeah, I'm really not good at returning, but I think I'm a little bit more tidy about it. I have them, sitting by my door or something.
Yeah, that's probably true. Who is most likely to cry at animal adoption commercials?
Ooh, that one's hard. So Oliver and I were watching sad cat videos yesterday.
Why do you put yourself through that?
It was a sad one, but it had a redeeming story where they saved. It was this cat in a dumpster. Maybe some of you have seen this. It was a cat in a dumpster in a sticky trap type thing. And I was like, Oliver, come here, because he loves cats even more than I do. And we were watching it, and then he felt super sad and had to go and check on our cats. And I was like, oh, he doesn't get stuck in a sticky trap.
Oh, yes, I remember you said that.
And then we were watching all these videos, and then there were some really sweet ones too. And I felt like I was getting I don't think I actually cried, but I felt super emotional the more that I watched them. But just an adoption commercial on TV, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like probably you.
Okay.
But I'm a little bit more emotional. I avoid any sappy cat or animal videos. They just
those ones about the dogs, the dog's last day before putting them down are horrible.
Absolutely not. I used to watch. There's one about he went and took him to McDonald's and got a burger, played with him at the park. I was like, there's no happy ending.
No,
it is
no
so
happy ending.
sad.
Yes, that was one of the videos we were watching last night. It was the caption or something was the worst part of owning a cat. And it was this grown man with his cat on, you could tell the cat was getting ready to be put down at the vet on the table. And the grown man was petting the cat, and he tears dripping out of his eyes. And then I told Oliver, I'm if that was our cats, I'm would you shoot them? If they're super sick, would you shoot them? Or would you take them to the vet and pay the money for someone else to put them down?
What did he say?
We wondered how much. I said he would not shoot.
Depends
them.
how much money we're talking.
He was meaning like he could maybe have his brother shoot him. He could never do it. But
yeah.
I was like, because Dad had to do that to one of our cats at our house, Samson, growing up, and it was super sad.
Yeah, he took him to the vet. He didn't shoot it.
No, because it's like, I mean, I get shooting it if they've been like hit by a car and they need like instant relief, but like if you're just putting them down because they're super sick.
So sad. I was actually just thinking about that. I was telling my friend, I was like, it's so sad, like with Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Our new cat. It's like I'm already so attached. And like cats just don't have the life expectancy. So either something is going to happen to her or she's probably going to die in our lifetime.
Oh.
And that's so depressing. I was thinking, like, is she gonna be that like family cat that stays with us until she's super old and like we're gonna have to put her down, or like is something gonna happen to her? Like, it's just kind of sad.
Yeah.
I know that's like such a depressing thought,
I
but
know.
I was just thinking about it. That's just animals. And Keegan had told me that he thinks one good thing about pets for kids is learning to kind of deal with loss.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
On a smaller scale, because you like get attached, and you kind of learn to have to let go things, and that death and mortality are a big part of life.
Yeah. I've never thought of that. Keegan's wisdom. Who is most likely to talk in the movie theater during a movie? Probably me.
Yeah.
But it's like Oliver, like, does not like to be talked to at all during. Like,
really?
We go to the theater. Like, sometimes I want to be like, oh, wait, like, or like, wait, did that happen? Or like, try to figure something out. And I feel like he don't say anything, but I can just tell that he's like, just keep watching and find out.
Yeah.
If I was sitting by you or like one of my girlfriends, like if we go as a group of couples or something, and I'm like sitting by one of the girls too, then I feel like we can talk more. But I feel like he's like never wants to talk about it till it's like done. So
I'm always like asking Keegan questions.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just behind. I can't figure things out. I'm like, wait, am I supposed to know like what this is yet? And sometimes he's like, no, we don't know yet. And then sometimes I ask and he's like, oh yeah, like you kind of missed it. This was what. It's more like in the more complicated movies, but also when we like went and saw a movie together, I feel like you and I are always like, we want to sit next to each other so that
I
we
want
can
to sit, and then the husbands could be on the other side,
so that we know that we can kind of
Yes.
discuss, have a little commentary. So honestly, both of us.
I
But
know, pretty even.
yeah,
You maybe would just more because Keegan doesn't care.
yeah. Who is most likely to help a stranger? Jayla.
Me.
Yes.
I think I just
Jayla.
have a little bit more of a sensitive heart to that.
Yeah.
Not like in a cruel way, because everyone has their different callings in life, but I think I just happen to be more aware of that.
I agree, and I will fully say that. I'm not saying that I'm like the opposite and wouldn't.
And I'm not saying that I help every stranger in need. I just think generally probably me.
Yeah. Which is a really good thing.
Side note, before I read the next question, coughing is one of the most unattractive, icky things that someone can do. Do you agree?
I know. It's like,
no, like, it's like, this is how you cough, like, like, I was just noticing, because I've been coughing so much, and I've been around, we had Oliver's family Christmas last weekend, and I was there some, and then I was, like, looking in the mirror at myself coughing. I'm like, that is so, like, horrible looking. Like, you, like, stick your tongue out in a really...
I know. You can't hardly cough without... Can you cough without sticking your tongue out? Or is it just me?
I don't know.
Or you at least, like, let it out a little bit. I feel like my tongue always comes out.
I think Trey Kennedy or someone made a video about that a long time ago, and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't cough like that. Or, like, because I remember looking at you coughing, you would cough like that.
I cough with my tongue.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, I cough like that too.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, who is most likely to make new friends wherever they go? I don't know. This is hard. It totally depends the situation. It's easier for me to make friends if I'm put in a situation where no one really knows each other, so we all just are like, oh, like, we all are just kind of getting to know each other, so we all bond over that.
Yeah, kind of like your mission trip.
Yeah, like my mission trip. But to just go to a new location and there's like already a lot of friend groups already established, that's a lot harder.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I will say I am so much more confident socially when I'm with you, which is kind of strange. It's like maybe it's just being like sisters for so long. It's like, oh, we can kind of bounce off of each other. Like if I'm going to go talk to somebody new, I'm like, oh, I'd bring you along and I feel totally fine.
I would be the same way. And it's like you get each other's humor. So it's like if you make a joke, the other one's going to at least laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you're
so
not
then
going to seem so weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Good one. You kind of stumped.
Probably pretty even. What a fun answer.
I feel like these questions are so like personality questions ish that it's like we're pretty like our personalities are pretty similar, I would say.
Which
like, we're pretty different in like things that we do type of things, but like our personality and the way that we think just like about a certain thing I feel like is pretty similar, if that makes sense.
I feel like is kind of rare for sisters. I'm starting to realize like a lot of times they can be like polar opposites. Like one is the introvert, one's the extrovert. And I was kind of having a conversation with somebody about this, and it is so strange how similar. I don't know if it was just like growing up, it was almost like a competition for us, or like maybe not competitive, but it's almost like we tried to be each other, or in a way. Yeah.
The only big difference between me and you that I can think of is like the cleanliness aspect. Like that's like the no, I'm seriously, but do you agree?
Yeah.
That's the only big thing. Like, I am kind of, and my house is not completely clean, but I can be a perfectionist about like I can't go to bed if there's like dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
I can. Okay, if there's like dishes on the counter, and like I'm pretty strict to my cleaning schedule, and like that's that type of stuff really bothers me.
Yeah.
And you're not that way.
I'm a little bit more laid back in that area.
Yeah. And that's literally like the biggest thing that I can think about, where it's like we would clash.
Yeah.
We would clash at.
And that's where we clashed a lot, when we like shared a bedroom.
Yes. And that's like, and where we clashed a lot as sisters growing up was like I literally think that was probably the only thing we ever fought about, was like getting mad about like your clothes being on my side of the room.
Yeah.
If you've ever shared a room with a sister, I'm sure you know what it's like to have your side and their side, and that distinct line, and you would just start throwing things on their side.
I like kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I think that was probably about the biggest thing we ever fought about.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Who is most likely to get offended?
Me.
Really?
I've noticed the older I get, like the more sensitive I am. But I get offended, but I never like will make it known, because it's usually something really petty that's like not really worth being offended about. But I can just like I feel like I'm extra sensitive sometimes.
I feel like I'm more sensitive than you.
I think you are more sensitive than me, but I think I still get offended more.
Yeah.
Like you're more sensitive in a different way.
Yeah,
like,
I think so too.
Almost like in a way that your feelings.
I'm a little bit more like soft, I guess, than you.
I know. Maybe you are, but I just feel like the older I get, even like, I don't know, I'm pretty sensitive. Or I've just noticed, especially since getting married, new things that, not even things that like Oliver says or does, but like now that I have my own home and house, and like sometimes I feel like I'm more sensitive about, or I get more like offended easily. I mean, offended seems like such a strong word. Yeah. So I shouldn't maybe say I get offended. I just get a little bit like, okay, I didn't really like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Maybe it is you.
Who is most likely to have the most children? Interesting. So I used to would have said you. And maybe I still would say you. Because I think you, whole different conversation, but I know you used to talk about like wanting to have kids and adopt some too.
Still don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to
know
until like a while, I know. But I feel like we're pretty set on how many we want to have. And it'd probably either be the same or less than you.
Really? I don't know. I used to want more kids, but I'm starting to like smaller families. I think when I grew up, we only had 3. Yeah. And I like thought big families looked so fun. Yeah. But honestly, I think there was something really special about a small family like this. I don't know. Us 3 were pretty close. Yeah. But
and it's like hard to know until you actually have kids if you're going to want that many more. But
I could just picture like your life as like having this big farm and like tons of little boys running around.
I know.
Like unless 5 little boys.
I just can't see that right now, but maybe I'll like fall in love with wanting to have more kids. It's hard to know. I
Mhm.
feel like until you actually like have your first kid and
I
second
know.
kid to know
I
if you
feel
want
like
more, or if you're like, I really just like it being small like this.
yeah. Who is most likely to read more books this year?
You, for sure.
Yeah.
You're definitely more of a reader. I feel like you've always been more of a reader than me.
Mhm.
I'm trying to be more of one. We just started a book. Oh, that's kind of a life update. Fun
Yeah.
idea type thing. We recently just started a really small book club on books. Should I talk about this?
Yeah.
So basically, we just are doing like kind of like drama, fiction, mystery,
Novels.
novel
Yeah.
type of books. Just like kind of interesting books that maybe aren't like super these like massive life lessons that get your brain just like riveting, but they're really interesting and fun books to read and really fun books to just discuss. So we just recently started that with a really small group of people, and that's been really fun, and it's been a really good way to help me get more motivated now to start to read more books,
Mhm.
because we'll like pick a new book, and the books that we pick I feel like are very interesting, so they're easy to get into.
Yeah. We
I-
have similar tastes. I think this small group has like a similar taste in
Yes.
the novels that we like to read. So that's really helpful.
Yeah.
The last one, our first book was The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Yes.
I really loved it. Like
Yeah.
I honestly think it's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
I will say I would probably rate it like a PG-13 if it was a movie. I feel like it kind of depends where you are and like your convictions. Like there is a little bit of language, maybe a little bit of like mature
Yeah.
adult, but it has
Yeah.
the story. And I also am not I need to be better about being like a deep thinker, especially with like what are the lessons that this story is trying to teach me, instead of just like that was an entertaining story.
Yeah.
And I think the book club kind of has helped me, because last night when we had our book club, just
Yeah.
kind of discussing kind of the themes that were in the book, I was like, wow, like it really made me think about the characters a little bit deeper and kind of the life lessons that they were teaching, and it, kind of brought up some really good
Yeah.
discussion points.
Oh, yeah.
So book
Yeah.
clubs are so fun.
It makes you think out of the box of questions that you wouldn't have came up on your own just by reading it. And also like listening to books, which is normally how I read most of my books, is super helpful to really get through a book, because my job is mostly like right now I do a lot of delivering, driving, or I'm like working at a greenhouse kind of on my own right now, like doing this and that. So I have a really great job for just listening to books. So it's the perfect thing to keep me entertained while I work and still like feel like I'm able to like get my brain moving, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Getting into a good audiobook, it makes me want to keep working.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I can't just sit and listen to
Yeah,
an
like
audiobook.
it makes me kind of excited to go to work, because sometimes at home it's a little bit harder to like just sit down and listen to something. But if you're like are already having to work at your
Yeah.
job, and you guys will just put in your butt in and listen to a good book.
Yeah.
Okay, the question after this question.
Okay, I can't look.
Who is most likely to break out laughing in a serious situation? This is so even, but maybe you.
Me, because that was literally me the last podcast that we filmed.
Oh, yeah, true. If I see you, like, you will start it, but if I see you, like, even if, like, we're at church or, like, some sort of setting where we shouldn't be,
Yeah.
it's not the appropriate time to be laughing. Like, if we look at each other, it's like, I just cannot look at her anymore, because we will start laughing about
I
something.
honestly think it is one of my, like, big weaknesses, because, well, I said, like, last episode, you could see it a little bit, but I cut a lot of it out, because it
She
honestly...
cut a lot of it out.
It honestly seemed a little bit offensive. It seemed like I was like laughing at some of the submissions.
Yeah.
Because we read some submissions in the last episode, and I wasn't even laughing like at them. I just got slap happy to where like everything was funny.
Yeah.
And I talked about how it's like hard for me at work, because I work at a bank in a professional setting. I literally just, maybe was it last week? A customer, we were like laughing and joking about something, and I was like still laughing at it by the time they came in.
Yeah.
And then like they came and withdrew some money, and I was still thinking about what we were laughing about, and I have to like count the money back. So I was like 20, 40, 60, and I was like, sorry. And the guy just like looked at me and just kind of laughed. And I didn't like
laughing about how much money he has in his bank account.
He probably was like, what was she laughing about?
Yeah.
And my coworker like looked at me and was like, what in the world? Like, can you not like pull it together? I was so humiliated. And I like wanted to find something to like blame it on, like, ha ha ha, like, oops.
Yeah.
But there was like nothing
Yeah.
funny in the situation.
Yeah.
I was literally just counting out 20, 40.
Yeah.
And I just like couldn't pull it together.
That's horrible when that happens. I hate that.
I just feel like it's such a big weakness. I just can't contain my emotions.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially like once you get started on that like little thought of like something that you shouldn't, like something that would make you laugh about, like a situation that you shouldn't be laughing about. It's like so hard to like stop that.
And I kind of think my laughing is almost like an intrusive thought, because I remember thinking like, don't laugh. Like, you cannot laugh. That would be so inappropriate if you laughed right now while you're...
and then you do.
And then I just like...
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that intrusive thought that I let win. So we'll have to work on that one.
Okay, you can read the next question.
Okay, what is this question? Who is more likely to turn into their mother? You.
Yeah, I would say me. Just because I've definitely, all growing up, I would say I've had more of her personality traits than you have.
Keegan, why are you cringing? That's interesting. I'm sure Mom's watching this and would like to know.
There's like certain things, it could be both of us, but generally I would say I am more like Mom, so I'll probably turn out to be more like Mom.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I probably have a few of her traits. Do you think I am like Mom?
I can think of like one way.
Tell me, even if it's bad.
No,
no, Mom.
Like not.
There's nothing bad about you. That brings us to what's one positive way that we would like to be more like our mom.
I would say that Mom has a pretty big heart or she cares a lot about people.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's like sensitive towards other people more than I am sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like people that I know. Like I think it's easier for me to be sensitive towards people that I don't know. Like I see a really sad person.
Yeah.
Like a stranger. But it's hard for me to be, I feel like she's better at being sensitive towards people in her own circles, like family and church people and her friends and stuff.
And I think she's a really good conversationalist, and she's good at like connecting with people. Like,
yeah, that is true.
Like if she was hosting somebody new, she's just good at talking to them and finding ways to connect with them, I guess. And that's something that I want to get better at, because I'm always like, I don't know, that's like an excuse to like not talk to somebody new, because I'm like, well, I don't even know what to talk about. And I think she's pretty good at that.
Yeah, she is. Okay, next question. This is so
obvious.
Obvious. This is the most obvious question of the questions so far. Who is most likely to show up late to an event?
Wow, Keegan.
He knew that one.
I want the listeners to guess. I feel like all the bad traits are me.
No. Kensley. Yes. I will say we are more late now that I'm married to my wonderful husband. I am always ready before him. I know there's all the jokes about girls taking so long to get ready, but it's more because Oliver puts off like taking a shower and getting ready till the very last minute. That is one trait I will say that's a little bit annoying.
Sounds like me. I'm like, I will lay in bed until I'm like, oh shoot. I don't know if I just Keegan says every Sunday morning.
Because I like to like be ready. It doesn't take me that long to get ready. I just like to be ready, and then it'll be like 15 minutes before we leave, and then Oliver's just now like getting a shower in. And so we are a little bit more late because of it not just being me taking myself somewhere now.
That was a nice way of putting my husband makes me late all the time.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's always him, but pretty much is. Generally, you are definitely more late than me.
Yeah. I will say, it is something that I have really tried to work on in the last year. I think I started to realize, thank you. I think I started to realize that it was kind of becoming like an identity, like, oh, Kinsley's always late.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like those things can be like kind of funny and they're like a part of who you are, but I was like, that's not like cute. Like it's not like this,
it's like annoying when people
it's not like this neat, like, oh, that's like so funny that she's late all the time. I was like, I don't really want to be like known for that and also be the one that's holding everybody else up, or they're like, well, she's always late. So I'm trying to do better. I tend to be better if I know that like they're waiting on me. Whereas
Yeah.
like church, I'm like, well, they're going to start without us. So
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not really an excuse. Another thing Keegan told me one time is like, another wise word from Keegan.
Wow, what a
This is gonna
wise
be-
husband.
I know. He says like being late is like saying to the person like your time doesn't matter to me. Like your time isn't valuable, which is
Yeah,
true.
I
Like
think
if
I've heard
they're
that before.
waiting on you for something, it's kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, your time wasn't really valuable to me. I took my time. And obviously things happen, but
Yeah.
kind of made me think like especially in situations where it's not just about me and I'm holding everybody else up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I think that's very true.
trying to do better. New Year's resolution.
We did a whole podcast on our New Year's resolution.
I don't know if I'm doing.
I literally don't have any. I mean, I would always like to be better at certain things, but I can't think of a specific thing.
I don't know. I want to think on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
I haven't thought on it much yet. Who is most likely to be the best liar?
Not me.
Yeah, probably me.
For one, I have a very sensitive conscience. I about can't lie on like anything.
And you don't have a very good poker face.
And not a very good poker face. So if we're like lying to be funny or like in a game, I don't have a good poker face. So I would say you.
Yeah. We play a game called, what's that game called? Secret Hitler, where you kind of have to like lie
about that.
to like defend your character.
Wow, what an edifying game.
I know. So good. But it's really fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like I could get pretty good at that one. Like, I am a good actor, I guess.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
I just can't think about it too much or else
Yeah.
I'll, like, laugh.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like the intrusive thought can win and I
Yeah.
can, like, laugh.
Yeah.
But I would like to think that in real life I'm not a good liar, that I don't practice that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you do, but you are a good actor,
Yeah.
so you would have a better
And if
poker face.
somebody had to lie, I would be a better liar.
Yeah. Who is most likely to get in a fight?
What kind of a fight, Keegan? We need more details.
Physical fight?
Oh, to start a fight?
Maybe me, just because I'm a little bit more mouthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not as, like, quiet, not going to say anything. If something bothers me, I'm probably going to say if it bothers me, which can then turn more into a fight.
That's true. I would say it's not, like, obviously you, but
Yeah,
probably
just,
a
like,
little
to think
bit
about
more
like that. I'm like, I can see.
likely to be you.
Yeah, I'm more going to state exactly how I feel in the situation.
Who is most likely to cry at a sad movie?
You,
Yeah.
I would say.
Kind of like the book, The Great
Yeah.
Alone. I bawled and you didn't shed a
Mhm.
tear. So, yeah. I'm definitely a little bit more emotional in that
I would
way.
say you're more emotional all around.
Yeah. I
In
would
that
say
way.
so too.
Yeah. Who is the most likely to approach a total stranger?
About what?
I know. The only scenario I can see this in is like in a witnessing type of thing. What else do you approach a stranger?
What are we
Or like
referring to,
complimenting a
Keegan?
stranger. Engage a stranger, like saying a nice word, or I see.
I would say it's probably pretty even. I don't think either of us are super like shy to strangers.
I think kind of just like we both had. We've both had jobs in customer service where we interact with a lot of strangers, so I'm
Mhm.
not like scared to talk to someone that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I would say just the fact that we both work in customer service is a big reason why I'd say we both
Yeah.
would be fine with that. I'm not saying I do very good at it, but I
Yeah.
don't think one of us is like super more likely to than the other one.
Mm-hmm. So alike.
Last question.
Ooh. Most likely to be a strict parent. I think you.
Yeah. I think I would be just a little bit more disciplinary because I would get like things would bother me more, I guess is why I
Mhm.
would say that. Like I'm a little bit more like
Uptight.
a little bit more uptight. So yeah. So it's like I could come out as more strict, like not in the way that like they're not allowed to go and do this. It's more just like you can't do that because it's like
Don't touch that.
don't touch that. Yeah. It's like disrupting my tidiness type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you definitely being more strict and even a little bit more stern.
Yeah. I'm not as laid back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like I like dread having to discipline my kids. Not that anybody looks forward to it.
I can't wait to discipline.
Cannot wait to exercise the disciplinarian in me.
No, I'm more scared of it in the way that like I want to have more like of a peaceful spirit around children, because sometimes I can get like really like fed up with kids. I'm more scared of like I don't want to overreact in situations and like get mad when I shouldn't be getting mad type of thing.
I know.
Well, this was honestly one of my favorite episodes that we filmed so far.
This was fun.
I just think it was pretty fun and laid back, and I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed it and kind of got to know us a little bit better, or just enjoyed listening to the little stories along the way.
Thank you so much for listening or watching. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Even if you don't watch it, there's lots of great other content. Just a little self-plug.
And if you would like to, you could share our podcast with, if you have any friends that you would think would enjoy it too. That would mean a lot.
Yeah, it would. And on the podcast app, rate us 5 stars. Follow our Instagram. Everything is in the description.
Yeah. We love reading all your comments or your messages that you'll send us. They're really encouraging to read, and they're really fun too.
Yeah,
So.
I will say, like, all of the comments and DMs just, like, make my day. And it makes us feel like, okay, there's somebody behind the camera, behind the microphone that's really enjoying this. And it's just really fun, and almost to kind of create a little bit of a community of other sisters, other girls who can just kind of join in on the conversation. So thank you so much for the support, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.